So today we are in Shanghai and we're looking at the question of how are the presidential elections going to affect Chinese investors looking at U.S. real estate. So I'd like to discuss three different areas. One is the question of change. And if we have a regime change where the Republicans come in after a long Democratic run, and furthermore, we see Trump, who is an unconventional candidate with a lot of new policy ideas and opinions against China, and a significant change there, then that is going to have an effect. Experts are saying that we're going to see volatility in the market, in the stock markets, in the currency exchange markets, if Trump is elected. That will probably last for a shorter term as we see the effects that some of his new policies are going to have on the market. Over the longer period, that will just be played out by whether some of these effects, whether his lower taxes, whether his more protectionist, isolationist policies start to affect the economy in a positive or negative way, then the volatility will probably die down, and then you would see the positive or negative effect. So, and with regards to change, on Hillary's side, in the relationship between China and America, the Chinese really liked Bill Clinton. They really appreciated him as a president. They loved much of his diplomacy coming over to visit China, and they respected him. And so Hillary, as the wife of Bill Clinton, they see her as a very positive candidate for the U.S. as well, and for that China-U.S. bilateral relationship. So overall, the Chinese would look towards a more stable relationship with the United States if the Democrats were to stay in power and we weren't to see the new and innovative policies of Donald Trump. The second topic I'd like to touch on is their different tax approaches and how that would affect the Chinese investors. And so with Trump, he's looking at lowering the corporate tax rate, and that would benefit many Chinese who are setting up companies in the U.S. as vehicles for them to do their United States real estate investment. Whereas Hillary is looking to raise taxes, increase the capital gains tax, and also changes to the way that carried interests are taxed, and so that would affect private equity investments by Chinese and joint venture partnerships. So those could have some different effects on Chinese investors as well. And a third point to note in the election is Donald Trump's background in real estate, in doing many projects all over the world in many different countries, doing many business deals with the Chinese, and his son-in-law has done an EB-5 project in New Jersey using the Trump license, the Trump brand. He hasn't directly said anything about the EB-5 program, but we know that he's very opinionated on immigration. He wants the immigration policies to be very positive, very beneficial for America. So selecting these wealthy, talented, skilled in Chinese individuals to selectively come into the United States probably would fit in line with his immigration policies. Overall, though, the Chinese are looking for good, stable, some of the best property markets in the world. And the U.S., regardless of the presidential election, the U.S. still remains that. The Federal Reserve is looking to raise interest rates later this year, sooner rather than later. Probably that will be a positive effect on Chinese investors as they invest, get their money in now, and then interest rates go up. That will be a good hedge for them as they are able to collect more in rents, are able to exit down the road with better sales prices most likely. So that's a good factor. Plus add in the USD currency exchanges with the RMB is expected to continue to decline in value, which again makes US dollar assets more attractive to Chinese. The sooner they buy in, those assets, the US dollar assets, continue to appreciate. And so the Chinese look at the US as a very stable market that's able to replace their president periodically in a peaceful manner, and still the market has good transparency, it has good rule of law, and good fundamentals that make the U.S. still an attractive place for Chinese investors.